Seja com quem for, a minha vida é cantar, nunca no mesmo lugar. Seja sozinho a dois, o resto eu vejo depois.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
And on one of the epic nights in the NBA, welcome one and all to the All-Star Game on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside former All-Star Shaquille O'Neal and a guy who has watched the All-Star Game a lot, Kenny the Jet Smith.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your name. You've watched it a lot as well.
And I'm fixing to watch another one. Tonight, it'll be the West All-Stars up against the East All-Stars. And even though today won't count in the standings, still such an exciting day in the NBA, and both teams are up for this one. And how much fun is this? The All-Star Game officially upon us, typically a high-scoring, fast-breaking affair. Shaq, any reason to think it's going to be anything different this time around?
Well, there are no more Dikembe Mutombos.
Oh, that was very impressive.
Thank you, Ernie. Not as many shot-blocking centers in the league now.
Hi, everyone. We welcome you to the NBA All-Star Game. I'm Kevin Harlan, along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg.
And you know what? This is probably, Kevin, my favorite date on the NBA calendar. I mean, with the amazing collection of players we have here tonight, this year promises to be an epic event.
Absolutely.
Guys, it always is. I mean, the privilege of playing in this game means so much to every one of these players. I mean, being on this huge stage brings out the best in the NBA's biggest superstars.
Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. All right, let's set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. On the court for the West All-Stars, we've got Kawhi Leonard. Anthony Davis is out there with Towns. Then there's Irving. And it's Thompson in at the 2. Good!
And there's such a sense of history that surrounds the All-Star Game. I mean, this is the 65th time this event has been held. And you think back on all the legends of the NBA. They've all made their mark in some way on this contest. And you know, there were a couple of records that fell at last year's All-Star Game. But to me, the most shocking one of all, the number of three-pointers made. 48. I mean, the teams, they combined for 48 threes.
Now here's Curry. There's a good screen. Right side, George. They get the rebound.
Well, he gets it in close, but you have to credit that stifling defense for forcing the miss.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, defense like that really increases the degree of difficulty on that shot by a large amount.
And those 48 three-pointers you talked about, Greg, the previous high for threes in an All-Star game was 30. So that's what I call shattering a record, huh? Man, oh, man.
It was insane. And really, that speaks to the evolution of the game as well. The game has become far more perimeter-oriented in terms of the skill set.
Here's Irving. Paul George making his last shot. Irving drives in. He got right to the cup using that screen. Irving's got his first points of the night.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts.
Kicks to Curry. Back to Harden. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Baseline jumper. Cousins with the bucket.
And this game literally has been wide open as it gets.
Yeah, both teams completely neglecting their defensive duties.
And if you remember last year, I mean, no star shined brighter in this game than Russell Westbrook. How about 41 points, just one off Wilt Chamberlain's all-time record. And I'd say Russell was a very deserving MVP. The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Davis dishes to Thompson. 17-foot shot on the way. No good off the front iron. That All-Star Game scoring record of Wilt Chamberlain, which Westbrook came so close to breaking last year, has now, Greg, been on the books for over 50 years.
Unbelievable. And I'll tell you what, when Westbrook had that 27 points at halftime, I thought for sure that record was going to go down. And, you know, this game, yeah, in a lot of ways, guys, has belonged to the Western Conference the entire decade. I mean, and last year they got the job done again. So although it did come down to the wire, the end result still was Western Conference dominance.
And although victory for the Western Conference has been a theme in the All-Star game recently, another trend, Greg, that was repeated last year was the East digging a big hole for itself. And you and I were talking about this, digging that hole for themselves early in the game and then mounting the huge comeback.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the East came back from 20 points down in the first half to tie it up in the fourth quarter. But once again, the comeback bid failed to come to fruition.
Paul's checked in for Curry.
And we've got a collection of the greatest players in the world here. I mean, and playing in an event where they can really let it all hang out.
And that's exactly why we always come away with such great memories. I mean, because they really do try to give the fans as many highlights as possible. And they are the best players in the world.
And fans and celebrities alike have descended on this town for All-Star Week. There's been a bunch of fun events going on all over the place.
And, Greg, it's like that every year. I mean, no matter what city is hosting, it becomes a mecca for everyone who wants to take in one of the greatest scenes in all of sports. Not only to watch the best players, but to be seen by the other stars in the crowd.
And guys, we've had some All-Star Game shootouts over the years, but really nothing compares to what we saw last year. The teams combined for 321 points. That's just mind-boggling. Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D. That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Durant kicks to Towns. He dishes it to Irving. Right side, Durant. Towns, the pass to Thompson. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Greg, you brought up last year's game, that unbelievable 163-158 win for the West, and it was indeed the highest-scoring All-Star game of all time.
Yeah, and I mean, defense has never been what the All-Star game's about, but that was out of control and made for one heck of a show.
And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
Their interior has been inferior defensively. It has got to tighten up.
You're right on target there, Greg. Of the last 10 points they've allowed, 8 have come from in close.
A big group substitution here for the East. Vucevic checked in for Cousins. Duncan comes in for Pau Gasol. Butler, he's checked in for George. And Dwayne Wade subbed in for James Harden. Then for the West All-Stars, Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Towns. Teague comes in for Thompson. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Kyrie Irving. And the shot is good.
Hey, guys, just thinking back to last year's All-Star game, I mean, something that was really special. How about the sight of Pau and Marc Gasol, two brothers facing each other on the opening jump ball?
Wade dishes to Duncan. Butler kicks to Vucevic. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Vucevic has got his second bucket of the night.
Well, the All-Star Game D is in full effect. They typically clamp it down in the second half.
That moment when the Gasol brothers competed for the opening tip really was unique. It was the first time two siblings have ever started an NBA All-Star game.
And you could sense, Kevin, that the significance was not lost on them. They both talked about how much it meant to them. It was just a really cool moment to be a part of.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
And here's Westbrook from the arc, rebounded by Vucevic. Wade with it from deep three-point range, from beyond the arc, and then some. Wade's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. And so the first quarter is in the books. The East All-Stars up on top as they end the first quarter with a tremendous 17-6 run. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And we welcome you back to the NBA All-Star Game as we get set to begin the second quarter.
And you can see these players now starting to get into a rhythm. Should see a lot better flow to the game here in the second quarter.
That's usually the case. I mean, it takes some time to gel with your teammates at the All-Star Game.
know, the fan voting is what determines the starters in the All-Star game. Then the coaches will decide on the reserves. But either way, whether you're picked by the fans or the coaches, earning the title NBA All-Star, that's an honor none of these players will ever forget.
On the court right now as the second quarter starts for the West All-Stars. Davis is out there with Griffin. Then there's Teague. Then it's Anthony. And it's Westbrook in at the point.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And, guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamorous stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team. And check out the bounce.
Oh, bounce to the ounce. Clark, how about that?
Yeah.
All right,
You
showing
said
him
it,
off
Kevin.
right there. Good move.
You said it, my man. He's a highlight reel waiting to happen. And, you know, the officials not giving their whistles much of a workout here tonight. Very few fouls being called.
And most of that, Greg, is because they're not playing full-force defense. I mean, you're never going to see as much contact around the bucket in this game as you would ordinarily.
A big group substitution here for the East. DeMarcus Cousins. He's checked in for Vucevic. Gasol comes in for Duncan. George is checked in for Butler. And it's James Harden in for Dwayne Wade. Then for the West All-Stars, Love's checked in for Griffin. Thompson comes in for Jeff Teague. And Lillard subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Now here's Anthony.
And not as many turnovers as we often get in this game. So good to see both teams taking care of the ball.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, surprisingly, very well controlled for the most part. Sometimes things get a little wild out there, but not so here.
And here's Harden after the three-pointer from Klay Thompson. Here's Cousins. It's rebounded by the West. Pass to Lillard. Love outside. Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in, and he gets the bucket.
Don't take your eyes off of him because he can make plays from multiple spots on the floor. Put the isolated cam on him.
Yeah, and you know, Melo voted into the All-Star game last year, played in front of the home crowd in New York. In a lot of ways, what must have been a dream come true for him.
Now, here is Harden. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Just 4 to shoot. Cousins, no good. Cousins has gone 1 of 4 so far. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yes, sir, fellas. They've had it going on big time.
Yeah, great momentum for them offensively.
For Carmelo, I'm sure he wished he had a better performance in that All-Star game. Clark, 6 of 20 from the field.
Yeah, I think he was probably forcing the issue a bit playing in New York in front of the home fans. I think he'll look to redeem himself here.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
So the timeout taken here, the first for the West All-Stars. Wall's checked in for Curry. Towns, he's checked in for the West. Irving comes in for Lillard. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there. That's a bad miss right there. I mean, you'd like to see him be a little more assertive when he has such good position.
Love the assist. I mean, he knew exactly where that bounce pass had to be to create that opportunity.
Thompson against Wall. And he slams it down right on top of Karl Anthony Towns.
And now that's what these people came to see, just punishing the rim.
Boy, that was tremendous. That one will be worth some points in the dunk contest.
Now, here is Irving. It's a pick by Love. Thompson is double. Love with a wide open look. And yep, couple bounces and it falls.
Yeah, teammate to teammate on the assist that time.
Well, the communication between them, that's what we see every game during the regular season, and it's on display here in the All-Star week as well.
Here is Harden, looking for his first basket still in this one. Gasol knocks down the 10-footer.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And he gets it to go. Love's got 4 points this quarter.
Not a lot in the way of defense here tonight, but, you know, that's about the norm.
Yep, this game is always going to be about offense, about entertaining these fans as much as possible.
And the East All-Stars decide to take their first time out here.
And did not seem happy about how things are going on right now, and maybe wants to make some changes.
I agree. I mean, just was not comfortable with the way things were set up at that particular time. And in that case, I think it's the right thing to do.
Group substitution here for the East. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Cousins. Batum comes in for Pau Gasol. Gordon Hayward's checked in for George. And it's Paul in for James Harden. The West also making some changes. Kevin Durant's checked in for Love. Leonard comes in for Carmelo Anthony. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Klay Thompson. Dishes to Hayward. Six on the shot clock. Batum sets a screen for Hayward. Durant with the steal. Here's the break. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the East All-Stars.
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to here in this first half.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
Butler, he's checked in for the East. He hits both from the stripe.
And what a show Russell Westbrook put on a year ago at the All-Star game. I mean, you could tell early on that he was looking to take over and leave his mark.
Now here's Paul. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. To the middle. Shot clock at 6. Towns with the steal. Westbrook drives in. Poked away. And Butler sends it back. Hayward passes to Paul. Butler on the wing. Lets the 3 fly. Can't get it to go. Now the West All-Stars the other way. Irving kicks to Leonard. Offensive rebound. And he hits it to tie the game up. Durant's got his second bucket of the night.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
Now here's Paul. Right side, Butler. It's tipped. And now running up the court. Leonard pushing it up. And Hayward with the block. Irving, good.
And without looking at the scoreboard, you think they were the team trailing and trying to fight their way back.
Yeah, I love the energy they're playing with. I say it this way. Good teams, championship teams, play against the game as much as they play against the opponent. Nice uptick here in their second chance points in this quarter.
Back the ball to end the run. And we're through the first half of basketball here in what's been a good one. West All-Stars out in front. They lead by 2. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the first half of the All-Star game, and I would never try to speak for Shaq and Kenny.
Please don't.
But I have certainly been enjoying the action. Have you been enjoying the action, Shaq?
Are you looking at me, Ernie?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the action, Ernie. Very, very fun.
Yeah, this is a great first half. Can't wait for the second.
We never get tired of having the privilege to broadcast at such an amazing and fun weekend. This year's All-Star action is no different. And on top of all that, we've got a competitive matchup underway. Both East and West All-Stars this year looking primed to put on a real show in the second half that could go down to the wire.
Wow, Ernie, well said. Anyway, the game has been pretty close up to this point, but there's going to be a moment when everyone goes into overdrive. Stops being a free-for-all with scoring, and the Stars turn it up a notch and try to win. Everyone in this game is crazy competitive, and nobody wants to go home a loser.
I think this All-Star game definitely has the makings of an exciting finish. It happens every year. Usually in the second half is when the best of the best step up and take control. Yeah, you might see some highlight plays for fun, but down the stretch, you're going to see hot competition.
Just about time for the third quarter to get underway, and we'll see you again at the Horn.
Return to the NBA All-Star Game. One half is in the books, and the second half about to begin.
And that first half was terrific. I'll bet anything, though, the second has even more in store for us.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think it's going to be a spectacular final 2 quarters.
And it's the East All-Stars with the ball. Steph Curry's out there with Harden. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Pau Gasol. And it's Cousins in at the center position. That's the 5 out there for the East All-Stars. Here's Irving. And the rejection by Harden. Now Curry. Passes it to Cousins. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Cousins has got it all tied up now for the East All-Stars. Irving kicks to Davis and stolen by Cousins. Left side, George. Baseline try. Count that one.
I tell you what, fellas, we're seeing some really good ball movement out there.
Definitely 10 of their last 12 points have come off assists.
Now here's Irving. Pass to Davis. And it's the East with the rebound. Gasol's got his 5th rebound in this one. Harden kicks to George. Lets it go from 14. The Shot, no good. Good D by Thompson. Outside Irving. On the wing, Thompson. East grabs the miss. Gasol's got his 6th rebound on the night.
And out of the gates here in this second half, they have not started well. 0 of 3.
Now the feed to Harden. Beyond the arc. It's rebounded by Towns. Now here is Irving. The pass to Towns. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
Some hang time on that rim. Puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
And also the other on his heels. Let's see how this one turns out.
Timeout called here. The West All-Stars decide to talk it over. All-Stars with some changes. Wade comes in for George, and it's John Wall in for Steph Curry. The West All-Stars also changing it up. Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Towns. Anthony comes in for Leonard, and Damian Lillard is subbed in for Irving. Wall against Lillard. He feeds it to Thompson. And that one's good. Thompson's got 7.
That's really told the story today, guys. I mean, throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and then finish.
More active and more physical down low. That's what's really been the difference thus far.
All with it, and Griffin picks him up defensively. Gasol kicks to Harden. Cousins with a screen on Lillard. Harden dishes to Cousins. Just 5 to shoot. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Harden's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Davis sets a screen, and Lillard kicks to Griffin. Shot misses. So the East All-Stars will take it the other way. It's Harden with the drive to the inside. Cousins. Good D by Thompson.
Great looking defense, really, just to disrupt the rhythm on that shot.
Yeah, really turned it from a simple, straightforward look into a very difficult shot.
Wade passes to Cousins. And Wall kicks to Gasol. Crafty move. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. That one on Davis. And as usual, he's the one directing traffic out there, guys.
And guys, he always has such a firm grasp of exactly what the game plan is. He's always talking, making sure that all 5 guys are on the same page.
The East All-Stars have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. First one falls for him. And some changes here for the East. Vucevic, he's checked in for Cousins. And it's Jimmy Butler coming in for James Harden. Then for the West All-Stars, Millsap comes in for Anthony Davis. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Klay Thompson. Both free throws good from Gasol.
We're seeing today what makes him one of the best free throw shooters among the league's big men. Beautiful stroke.
And Lillard kicks to Griffin. It's stolen by Vucevic. Here's Wall. The dish to Butler. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. The East All-Stars shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Shooting 2. Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. Duncan, he's checked in for the East. Paul comes in for John Wall. The West All-Stars also with the sub. Kevin Durant's checked in for Anthony. And so he makes both from the line. We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Westbrook against Paul. It's stolen by Vucevic. And Butler, here we go. Feeds to Vucevic. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Lillard dishes to Westbrook. Millsap has the open look. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Millsap's got himself on the board with 3 there.
A wide open 3. They need much better communication defensively.
Wade outside. Paul goes in. Millsap with the steal. And here's the fast break. Durant leading the way. And there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That's his first foul.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Yeah, and I like this call because you want the refs in that situation. If there's any doubt, err on the side of giving the benefit of the doubt to the offensive player. That should have been a block, and it was.
The East making a switch. Hayward's checked in. The West All-Stars also changing it up. Love's checked in for Griffin. And it's Teagan for Lillard. Now here's Paul. Following the miss by Paul Millsap. The drive by Paul. That's good.
And no player in the league has done more to earn his spot in this game than he has. I mean, he's having a terrific season.
He sure is. Excellence on a consistent basis for him. I mean, he's been their rock all year.
Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the East All-Stars.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shots.
Yeah, and also the way they've been able to generate points off of the turnovers that they forced tonight has also helped.
Now here's Durant. He kicks it to Millsap. It's stolen by Duncan. Butler attacking, and that one's good. And it's an 8-point East All-Star lead.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
And that one's good. Millsap.
Yeah, just used his strength there to get the post position without much fight from the defense.
Yeah, I think he's got to do a much better job next time of just bodying up. Get some muscle into him.
Now here's Paul. And the rejection by Love. And that is good.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
And so here are the West All-Stars, trailing here by 8. Tipped away. Here's Millsap. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Millsap's got 7 points in the game.
Clock is clearly on their side.
Exactly, and they can hold it for the last shot, and I think they will.
And here is Paul. Hayward outside. Back to Paul. From deep. No good. And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams scoring well as we head to the fourth. East All-Stars lead by 6. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports. We've been having a great time here, and we hope you have been too. The All-Star Game coverage continues. Thanks again for tuning in here to 2K Sports.
And, you know, you always look forward to this game, and this one certainly has lived up to the billing so far.
There is not another show in sports quite like the NBA All-Star Game, is there?
On the floor for the West All-Stars, Towns is out there with Anthony Davis. Then there's Irving. And there's Klay Thompson. And it's Leonard in at the small forward position. Here's George, and a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got 4 assists in the game. The West All-Stars with the ball. 8-point game. Davis sets a screen. Irving drives in. Here's Towns. Good work defensively by Gasol.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
Curry kicks to Harden. Back to Curry. Cousins with a screen on Irving. To the paint. Layup off the pick. And Cousins puts it back in. And it's a 10-point East All-Star lead. Thompson in the corner. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
The free throw drops for Towns. Balanced scoring, Clark, for them. They're moving it well.
Yeah, you love to see teams share the sugar. Everybody getting a touch, everybody enjoying an opportunity to score. That makes it a lot of fun for everybody on the court.
You know, it sounds better when you say it than watching it. Okay? I like better when you say it. Sharing the sugar.
You might want to cut down on that sugar intake, though, Clark. But anyway, everybody's been involved in this offense here early on, and it has a way of helping you defensively.
Now a timeout called by the West All-Stars. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. The dish to Leonard. Left side, Davis. Kicks it to Towns. And he stops that one.
And guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, his reputation. Clark grinding away, 100% effort all the time.
And Kevin, all that effort pays off. How many of those spectacular putback jams do we see from this guy? A bunch.
And the East All-Stars call time here.